All right, good morning. Welcome to the first ever live class here in our members area. Have a special treat here today. He's off camera. My husband is here to join us for barre today as well. Let's straighten that out. And Ophelia's got her little mat set up also, so she might join us. Okay, so we're gonna start on our mat, just feet about hip width apart. We're gonna do some nice breathing just to get started. It's a cloudy, rainy day here today, so wherever this finds you, we're gonna bring some light and some life into the body. We're gonna take a deep breath in, lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then roll them down the back again. Deep breath in, lift those shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down the back. 4 more like this. Deep inhale, exhale, roll the shoulders down the back. As you exhale, start to engage the lower abs to lift towards the belly button. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down the back. Inhale, lift those shoulders. Exhale, lower down the back. Now we're going to take bend in those knees. We're going to take a deep inhale. Nice and slow. Exhale. So we're coming into a bit of a squat, but don't worry about getting too low here. Deep inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, really lift the lower belly. Draw the lower belly in towards the spine. Inhale. Exhale, engage that core. Inhale, a little quicker. And exhale down. Inhale. And exhale, 1 more here. Inhale. And exhale down. All right, we're gonna step those feet a little bit wider, so heels wider than the shoulders. Tailbone really relaxing down, engaging those lower abdominal muscles even more. Keep those shoulders rolling down the back. We're gonna take a bit deeper in that plie, so start nice and wide. Deep inhale, breathe it in. Exhale, draw that belly in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw the belly button in. 4 more like this, breathe in. And exhale, nice and low, starting to open up through the hips. Be careful we're not popping the booty out the back. 2 more. All right, we're gonna come into our nice deep plie. So bend those knees, reach those shoulders away from the ears, reach those fingertips nice and wide, sit nice and low. We're gonna pulse it here. Squeeze that booty to lift. So tiny pulses, making sure here that we're not tipping in the pelvis. You really wanna relax that tailbone down, lift those lower abdominal muscles up. Be careful that those knees are not knocking forward. Working to lift from the fronts of the hips by squeezing the booty in the back. Keep that pulsing going. We got this. 8, 7. Keep that chin up. Heart and chest is lifted and open. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna sit a little bit lower. We're gonna hold. Feel that nice warmth coming into the body. Press those knees back. A little quicker, we're gonna stretch and plie. Stretch those legs, plie down. Stretch, plie. Reaching long through those fingers and breathing. So inhale up, exhale, inhale, exhale. In and up. 4 more. Staying lifted, energy out to the top of the head, nice and long through the spine. 2, 1, hold it down. We pulse and pulse, pulse and pulse. That fireplace is on and rocking if you want to maybe turn that down. Whoo, we don't need the fireplace on while we're doing barre. Nice to have a gas fireplace though. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Sit a little bit lower. Now press your weight really firmly into the heels and try to draw those heels together. So we start to engage under the lower legs here, up towards those connections where our adductors align into our pelvis. We're gonna stay, you're getting warm, I know. Sit a little lower. Reach those fingertips nice and wide. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, draw that belly button in. We're holding 8 more counts. Sit a little lower. Press those knees back. Now really squeeze that booty. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring those hands to the knees. Take a little break. Shift your shoulders forward and switch. A little bit of opening through the lower spine. Nice, Ophelia. We're gonna hold 1 shoulder forward here. Just about done our warm up here. Press that shoulder forward. Keep those shoulders away from the ears and keep that belly lifted. Using the hands to press the thighs back. Switch those shoulders open. Probably feeling nice and toasty in those lower legs now. We're gonna turn the toes forward. We're gonna inhale, reach it up. Exhale, reach it forward. You're gonna find your hands either reaching towards the ground. You can stay flat back if that's enough for your hamstrings. Or we can head even finds the mat. And we're gonna stretch those hamstrings here. We're gonna hold. Breathing deeply, opening those hamstrings up. Letting the head relax for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees, rolling up nice and slowly. Keep that head heavy. All right, a few little shoulder rolls. If you got some water, you want to grab a sip of water now, go ahead. We're going to move into our arms. Hopefully you're feeling warm. I know I am. A little extra warm, that fireplace on to start our warm-up off today. So we're going to start this arm series with our feet hip distance apart. So if you have some weights that you would like to use, go ahead and grab them. Low weights is better, 1 to 3 is what I always recommend. Making sure the pelvis is staying aligned, so tailbone down. Facilitated best by lifting those lower abdominal muscles up. Making sure we're not extending in the rib cage, that we draw those ribs down, we're staying open in the front of the chest. Nice, Davis. Looks good. All right, so feet underneath the hips. I want you to look down at your toes, lift all 10 toes up, press firmly into your big toe joint, and then lightly press all those 10 little piggies down. Roll those shoulders onto the back, reaching down to the fingertips. We're gonna easy lift and lower. We lift and lower. So you can get a ton more work here in the arms the more we resist. So we can just kind of flap around, or we can really use that resistance in the body. So this comes from all of the opposition work. The shoulders stay away from the ears. Shoulders pour down the back, allowing your lats to draw down towards your tailbone. Pulling in from under the armpits, drawing down. 4, squeeze, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to extend those arms directly out shoulder height. We're going to pulse it up, 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 up. So as we lift the fingertips up, we're only going a couple of inches here, nothing too big. We're focusing on drawing that shoulder down. So really pressing, beautiful space between the ear and the shoulders for 7, 6, 5. Don't forget about your feet. Make sure we're still pressing into that big toe knuckle. Flip those palms up. We pulse, pulse, and pulse. If you're working with weights here, make sure you don't have a death grip on those weights. Also be more mindful if you're working with weights to have a slight bend in those elbows so we're not overstressing those joints. From here, we're gonna curl it in. Curl to 90, extend. Curl to 90, extend. Curl, extend. Curl, extend. Again, more resistance. Visualize you're moving through something really thick and difficult. So add that resistance yourself, using the abilities of your body to get the work. Don't forget about the lower abs, keep them lifted. Gonna keep that 90-degree bend, put those palms forward. We're gonna pulse it up, up, up. So take a look to your left and your right. You wanna make sure that your shoulders and your elbows are in line. If they're not, we're working to get them there. And that your shoulders, so your elbows are pulled back. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. Extend those fingertips and lower down. Here we go, second set. Let's do it. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Take a quick peek down at your toes. Lift all 10 up just for a second. Press into the big toe mound and let them down lightly. Take a deep inhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Lift those lower abs. Relax the tailbone down. 3, 2, 1. Hold shoulder height and pulse. Keeping those shoulders rolling onto the back and pouring down the spine, encouraging the tailbone to relax down towards the heels. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Palms up. Here we go. We lift and pulse. Pulse, pulse. For 4, 3, feeling the shoulder burn, I know. 2, and 1. We curl, extend. Curl, extend. Use that resistance. Palms spread nice and wide. Fingertips really squeezing, scooping in all that delicious air, drawing it in. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Keep that 90. Palms forward. Pump it up, up. Watch the ribs here are not extending. Really relax those ribs down. So we're connecting lower abs, upper abs, squeezing in towards the belly button, drawing in. For 3, 2, and 1. Third set. Extend those fingers. Deep breath in. Exhale. We lower down. Here we go. We reach and lower. Reach and lower. I wish my husband was on camera right now because he's probably making the face that you're all making out there too. Keep those knees bent. Relax that tailbone down even more. Lift those lower abs. Yes, Davis, I'm talking to you. And everybody out there too. He just happens to be right here with me. 3, 2, and 1. Extend those fingertips out wide. We pulse and pulse. Pulse and pulse. Here we go. Music's back. And pulse. Get on the beat. For 3, 2, 1. Flip those palms up. Here we go. Check in with those feet. Make sure our heels have not sunk together. Heels stay in alignment behind big toe, second toe. Put those toes back down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We squeeze it in. Squeeze. So that slight bend in the knees is just a way for us to take better check of what the pelvis is doing here. Because with straight knees, it's easier to tip the pelvis back. So bend those knees and relax that tailbone in. Keep that bend. Palms forward. Pump it up. Up. We're almost done here, guys. You've got 8 more. Deep breath in. Exhale. Squeeze those ribs down towards the belly button. Draw that belly in for 3, 2, 1. You're done. Reach and lower. Roll those shoulders out. Give yourself a little wiggle. And go ahead and clasp those hands behind the back. reach those fingertips down towards the heels, lifting up to the chin if that's comfortable, and then really drawing the fingertips down. So opening, rolling the shoulders back, pulling down towards the heels. Yes, being mindful that we're not popping the booty out here. We're still keeping that alignment. Shoulders over hips. Core engaged in the front, so long in the lower back and engaged in the front. Feels good, I know. Woo, nice for the shoulders. Biceps, triceps, lats, everything was working there in that one. So we're gonna get back into a series for the booty. You ready? We're ready. The dog is also here. She's sleeping in her bed. She's super ready. She's sleeping. All right, so you're gonna bring the feet nice and wide. So heels are wider than the shoulders. Not right now, you gotta wait, here we go. That may or may not happen. So we're gonna come down nice and low. We're gonna go back into our pulses. So pick a spot where you can feel the legs engaging already. So knees are pressing back, booty squeezing under to lift in the front. So that same alignment as when we're standing. We don't wanna be popped back. We're squeezing the booty under so that we can lift the hips and then shoulders stay over the hips. From here, once we're down in this nice low, deep plie, we're gonna stay here. I want you, for the most part, to keep your weight in your heels. I will ask you to lift them in a moment, but for now, every time we're in this plie with our feet on the floor, really pressing the weight into the heels and then trying to draw those heels slightly together. That's gonna engage your upper inners a little bit differently. Hands can be on your waist here or holding your child, or fingertips out to the side if you want a little more work for the stability in those shoulder rotators. Press those knees back from here. We're gonna sit down 1 inch, and then squeeze that booty to lift 1 inch. Down 1 inch, squeeze to lift. Down 1 inch, squeeze to lift. 4, squeeze. Sit though and squeeze. So it's really the lift in the booty that's bringing yourself up. We're gonna sit down nice and low, lift one heel at a time. Get ready, here we go. We lift and lower, lift and lower. So now we're pressing into the ball of the foot, obviously because the heel is lifting, making sure that we're not tipping the torso here. Keep those shoulders rolling onto the back. A little bit more length in the undersides of the legs, working that flexibility in the hips. Might even start to feel a bit of a burn in the inner thighs here. Now, if we can, we're gonna lift one heel and lift the second, and then we pulse down, down, down. If it's too much to keep your heels lifted, you can put them on the floor. If you have something near you that you wanna hold on to, something stable, make sure it's not a chair with wheels. Breathe it, 8 more here, 8, 7, keep those shoulders rolling onto the back, keep those lower abs lifted, drop that tailbone down. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Lower those heels, take a little break, extend through those legs if you need to. If not, sit a little lower from the top. Here we go, down 1 inch, squeeze that booty to lift. Down and squeeze. So I know I said this is for your booty, and you might be thinking, all I really feel here is my thighs, or maybe you feel your inner thighs. What we really wanna start to do is train our body through the efforts of our mind to work our back body as well. We tend to always want to grip with the front side of the body. Here, we're talking to the booty to lower, squeeze and lift, lower, squeeze and lift. All right, here we go, one heel lift at a time. Lift and lower, you got it, lift and lower. So we're also working as we're doing one heel lift and lowering, you're working your oblique strength because your torso has to stabilize itself from not wiggling around as you're moving one side of the body alone. 4 more, so that's 2 each side, lift and lower. Lift and lower. 1 more, then we're going to go into our pulses. If you got it in, you lift both heels. Lift one heel, lift the other, pulse. Pulse, so really getting into the inner thighs here, but don't forget about that booty, squeeze it. The more you can squeeze your booty, drawing those sit bones together, the more that tailbone gets to relax down, the more we're opening the fronts of those hips. That's why it might be making you a little angry. Watch those shoulders, roll them down the back. We're here for 4. You got it, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those heels, extend to those legs if you need to. If not, sit a little bit lower. Press those knees back, relax the tailbone, lift those lower abs. Down 1 inch, squeeze and lift. Down 1 inch, squeeze and lift. Down, squeeze and lift. So again, working the flexibility in the fronts of those hips. They're probably burning. Mine are, I promise. I know it looks easy, but it's not. I've just practiced a lot to talk and do at the same time. Sit low, squeeze that booty, lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. One heel lift. So keep that booty squeeze as we lift one heel and lower. You don't have to lift it far. Even if you can just get it a centimeter off the floor, that's great. Ophelia's pumping it out for you. She says, go, go. You got it. You got it. Lift and lower. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Relax the tension in those cheeks. Throw a smile on your face. We're almost there. 4, 3. Squeeze that booty. Here we go. Lift the heel, lift the other, and pulse, and pulse. You can have your heels on the floor here to modify. You can hold on to something with one hand or two, depending on where you're at. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're directly above the hips. And wherever you are, relax the tailbone down more and lift those lower abs more. Lift them up. 8, 7, 6, you got this. 5, final here. 4, sit lower, lift those lower abs more. 2, and 1. Woo, nice job, guys. Toe heel together. Find yourself hip distance apart. Bend those knees, bring those knees together. Nice little release, little wiggle side to side. Woo! Feels good. All right, we're halfway there through our class today, guys. A nice 5-minute stretch. You got about 10 more minutes of work here. Okay, are you finished? You done? Okay, we're gonna get into our inner thighs here a little bit more. We're gonna do one for the inner thighs, one for the booty. Daddy's doing barre with mommy right here. So if you have a small fitness ball at home, more than welcome to pop that in between your knees now. I'm going to demonstrate without any props. Again, holding on to something if you have it. You can even hold on to a wall, make sure it's stable. We're gonna bring feet, legs, everything together. So big toe mounds, ankle bones, knees, inner thighs, everything squeezing in together. If you do have a ball, you're working hip distance apart here, making sure we're still staying in parallel alignment. From that squeeze, again, you can do this with your heels lifted, or you can do this with your heels on the floor. It's gonna be more work for your calves with your heels lifted, so your choice, up to you on that one. From here, arms can be out, holding on, or on the waist, whatever is best for your balance, making sure that we're keeping that alignment, tailbone down, lower abs up. We're gonna lift the heels without letting the ankle bones fall open, so we're keeping everything squeezed up. From here, we're gonna slide down. So imagine your back is sliding down a wall behind you. So we're not pitching forward, we're not tucking underneath. From here, we're going to squeeze the knees together. So squeeze, squeeze. I know you can't really see it. If I was with a ball, I'd be doing squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So when we're knees together, find that little bit of work. Head stays parallel to the floor, then we squeeze, 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 squeeze. So you know it's a little bit different without the ball, but the work's the same. So as we press those knees in together, press, press. We're not forgetting about the back body. We're still squeezing those sit bones together. Here, squeeze, squeeze. Again, hands can be on the waist, or hands can be out. Heels can be on the floor or lifted. Squeeze. Now we're gonna squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. So press those knees together like your life depends on it. Roll those shoulders down the back. Stay long through the spine. Shoulders are over. Please squeeze it in. Squeeze it in. Knees pressed together. I know it burns. Don't forget to squeeze the booty and squeeze the knees. 3, 2, 1. Back to pulses. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I don't think I'm doing nothing here. So for those of us who have a ball or just want to see the motion here, we're doing squeeze, 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 and squeeze. If it's too intense or it's not comfortable for your hips to actually press your knees together, you can go ahead and bring your feet wider, hip distance apart as well. You're not going to get the same resistance here without the ball, but that's okay. Now we're gonna press and hold. So bring those knees together. If the feet are apart, press those knees together. So we're squeezing the knees together actively, consistently, squeezing in the back, shoulders staying lifted, lower abs are still lifted, belly is squeezing in for 3, 2, and 1. Third set, here we go. Squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in. And heels can be lower, so lost my balance there a little bit, happens to the best of us. So we're drawing those knees together. So we're working the control in the hips. We've got a lot going on here. If you have a ball, we're getting more resistance, or if you're doing this with that press into the knees, you're getting more resistance. Check in with the pelvis. For 8, make sure that the lower abs are lifting, allowing the tailbone to relax down for 3, 2, and 1. Now squeeze and hold. Press those knees together. Staying tall. If you have your hands on your waist, feel those abdominal muscles working, strengthening. Lengthen those fingertips out. Reach them long if those arms are wide. Visualize those sit bones. Squeeze them together in the back. As you squeeze the booty, squeeze the knees. For 7, sit a little lower. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, relax it out. Shake those legs out. I know you don't get to move a lot in that one, but it's a really good, delicious one. All right, we're gonna hit the mat here. So laying down on your back. We're gonna target that booty a little bit more. Again, really focusing here on lifting the lower abs to lengthening the lower back to make sure that we're really protecting our spine here. So on our backs, feet are gonna just plant nice and firmly. So we wanna have approximately ankles under the knees, shoulders roll onto the back, palms press into the mat for nice stability here. Take a deep inhale. Fill the belly, exhale, slide lower and upper abs together. So eliminating the space between lower back and the floor, drawing belly button in, and then we press those hips up. From here, we're gonna keep our hips nice and high. Check in with the chin and the chest. Make sure we're not crunching in. Beautiful space. Hips are lifted. Lower abs are squeezing up. From here, we pulse it up, 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 and up. So while we're here, lift all 10 toes again. Really press firmly into that big toe mound. Making sure we're in the center of our heel, pressing into the big toe. That booty is squeezing to lift. So we're not gripping with the, we're working our booties, Ophelia. So we're not gripping with the quads. This lift is coming from the booty. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lift and hold for 8, 7. Roll those shoulders back onto the mat. Press those hands down. 3, 2, and 1. For fun, we're gonna lift one leg at a time. Lift and lower, or you can hold here. We lift and lower, lift and lower. It's a little bit of a release for the hamstring on the one side. We wanted to do our best to make sure that we're not dropping the hips. We want to keep both hips lifted and even. 3 more here. 2 and 1. Plant both feet and lift those hips a little higher. Squeeze the booty. Check in with the knees. Make sure they're in alignment with the hips and the ankles. Here we go. We pulse it up. Breathe. Pulse, pulse, and pulse. Keep those shoulders rolling onto the mat. Lengthening through the lower back by drawing tailbone down towards the knees in this case because we're not standing. Keep that booty squeezing. 8, 7, 6, 5. Deep breath in. Throw a smile on your face. We're almost there. 2 and 1. All right. Lift it high. Press into the big toe mound. Lift one leg. Here we go. Lift and lower. Switching. Lift and lower. Switch. Lift and lower. And if your hips are tipping, so as you lift one leg, if that hip drops to match it, just do your best to keep them level and even. 1 more each side. Moving into our third and final set here, guys. Drop those feet. Press those hips up. Readjust. Squeeze those lower abdominal muscles up and draw that belly button in. Check those knees in alignment. Pulse it up. Pulse, pulse, and pulse. So really working the outer glutes, the outer legs here. If you find your knees falling open, use that inner thigh strength to draw those knees back into alignment with your hips and your heels. 8, 7. Roll those shoulders onto the back. Long neck, deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Press and hold. Final set. We're gonna lift one leg at a time. Here we go. We lift and lower, lift and lower. You got it. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. We're gonna do 4 more. That's 2 each side. Hips lifted. Breathe. Lift those hips high. You've got it. 1 more. Breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. Lower those feet down. Lower the hips. Whoo! Nicely done. Bring those knees in towards the chest and hug. Feel that expansion, that release of the lower back through the glutes. If it feels good, just pause here. If you want to do a little roll side to side, maybe little circles, massaging that lower back. Whatever feels good for you, just take a moment or 2 before we get into our ab series to finish off our class today. Whew. Deep breath in, fill the belly. Exhale. When you're ready, allow those feet to find the mat. Going to come into a small series of pulses and a little crossbody twist to work our obliques before we finish off today. So start with a big deep breath in. Exhale, slide upper abs and lower abs together to eliminate space between your lower back and the mat. Fingertips can stay wide, or you can clasp your hands in a little nest behind your head for a little more support. We just want to make sure the elbows here stay wide. So we're doing a lift, we're not doing a crunch in. Deep breath in. Exhale, slide those abs together, drop the belly in, we pulse it here. Pulse and pulse. Use that exhale. Breathe it out. So the inhale here is a little bit passive, and the exhale, don't be shy, push it out. The more your belly will naturally engage to draw that belly in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We switch it, crossing body. So we're gonna take right shoulder, draw it over to the left knee, left shoulder over to right knee. So we're not really trying to crunch and twist the elbow in. We're keeping long extension through the spine. Squeeze through center. We twist through center. Twist through center. Twist through center. So you can even visualize here your abs squeezing and drawing across the body. So again, it's not just a crunching in towards the center. We have motion, twisting, wrapping upper abs across, using that oblique strength into the hip. 4 more. Squeeze through center. Keep breathing. Use that exhale through center. Back to pulses. Here we go. We pulse and pulse. Keep those elbows nice and wide. Use that exhale. Upper abs drawing in towards the belly button. On an exhale again, draw the lower abdominals up towards the belly button. Keep that exhale pulsing through if it helps. Exhale pulse on every, exhale on every pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross body, here we go. Twist and center, and center, and center. So a lot of work coming in energetically into the center of your body, into your core, into your center of gravity. So you want to make sure that you're thinking of that as a motion. We don't want to pile all that energy directly into the center. We want to flow it through. So allowing that to shift through the whole body. So yes, the core is shifting through, but once that energy gets to the hip, it flows to the leg and out the toes. 4, squeeze. 3, squeeze. 2, final set center. We pulse it here. If you need to take a break to reset, come down and stay nice and wide. Exhale to lift and pulse, and pulse. Check in with the chin. Make sure that there's a gorgeous, delicious space between the chin and the chest. So neck is long, shoulders are wide. We're here for 4. You're almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go into our twist. Shoulder towards knee or towards hip if that's more helpful. Use that exhale. We've got our final set of 8 here, guys. You've got it. Check in with your knees. If they're wobbling all over the place, use that core to stabilize. Exhale to draw that belly in. If you've created space between your lower back and the mat, eliminate it. Push it out now. Deep exhale. Final 2 and 1. All right. Lower the head down. Extend the legs out. Bring hands to the belly. Give it a pat or a rub, whatever feels good, or if it just feels nice to take a moment of stillness and breathe. You can even close your eyes. We'll take 3 breaths here. Deep inhale. Oh, Ophelia's bringing me some water to drink. I'm not sure where she got it from, but yum, 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 yum. That's delicious. Thanks for sharing. All right, one more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, really let it go. All right, rolling over to one side to bring yourself up, or plant those feet, swing on up. Woo! Beautiful. All right, nice and easy. We're going to come and bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of feet together, sitting up nice and tall. I see some people have joined us in here live, so hello, hello, hello. Sitting up nice and tall, knees sitting nice and wide. Staying here if this is enough for your hips. If you want to grab ankles or feet, long through the back and then leaning it forward. You may feel this in the backs of the hips or in the fronts. If this is enough, you want to stay here, stay here. We want to do our best to keep long in the spine. So if you want to take it a little bit more forward, you can extend those fingertips out, reaching long through the spine. And if you're able to continue to have a long spine here, we can begin to fold over. But if we're not able to get a lengthened spine here, we really want to work to have that lengthened spine first. So breathing here. And exhale. Again, if you want to go a little bit deeper for our final breath, feel free to find that length. And on your exhale, really release, relax. And then begin to roll yourself up. So I can't see on my device here who has joined in live. I did see you popped in a little bit earlier. So thanks for joining. I hope you're having a good time. I will go and definitely peek to see who's joined in. It's always fun at the end. So we're going to extend those legs forward. We're going to, feet here can be together or hip distance apart, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're going to inhale, reach those fingertips up, and exhale, reaching forward towards the toes. So again, we want to keep long in the spine here. Yeah, nice job, Ophelia. Reaching towards those toes, working for long spine. If it's too much for us here and we've just really tightened the hamstrings, go ahead and bend those knees so we can lengthen through the spine. You want to start with a long spine first. And then we can begin to reach forward or to stay sitting up tall. So if sitting up tall here, keeping those shoulders planted on the back as we're working to extend these legs, this might be enough for the hamstrings. If our legs are extended, we can begin to reach forward. We'll breathe here a few more breaths. All right, bringing those legs back or bringing your shoulders back over your hips. We're going to open the legs. Okay, so go ahead, lift your booty meat out from under those sit bones. Again, if we're here, watch the elbow. If we're kind of hunkered back here and we're not up straight in a line. You can always go ahead and bring something under the hips if you've got a pillow or a blanket or something just to prop yourself up a little bit. Might be helpful if you have less flexibility here, because again, we're working first to get shoulders over hips, and then begin to just walk forward if you can, if that feels good. So this can be opening for the inner thighs here. It might also just feel really tense and kind of yucky in around the hips if you've got less flexibility. So wherever you are, know that your body is telling you where the tightness is. So breathe into those spaces. And if you have more flexibility and you've got that length through your spine, feel free to walk those fingertips forward and begin to